Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending our detachment this morning. First of all, I would like to extend my deepest condolences to the family of Charles Williams. At approximately 6:47 p.m. on Friday, December 20th, Red Deer City RCMP responded to a report of a shooting at the South Red Deer Walmart. Responding members were aware of the information coming in through our 911. Information included witnesses saying that they heard men arguing and that the shooting had occurred in the main entrance. Upon arrival, we realized that the location of the incident was in fact about 200 feet from the main door in the parking lot. Charles James Williams, 69 years of age, was about to enter his vehicle in the parking lot when he was approached by an unknown male. A confrontation occurred at his vehicle, during which time Charles was fatally shot. The unknown man got into a waiting vehicle, which was a black SUV, that was being driven by a female. They fled the scene. As the black SUV was driving away, the male shot at two other persons in the parking lot. Unfortunately, these bullets did not strike the intended victims. He continued to shoot randomly as they departed the parking lot. Bystanders and members immediately performed CPR on Charles until EMS arrived. He was then transported to the Red Deer Regional Hospital and later succumbed to his injuries. At approximately 9:17 p.m., Deer RCMP responded to a theft of truck call in their jurisdiction. The stolen vehicle was a red Chevrolet pickup truck, and the second vehicle involved in the theft was believed to be the SUV that had departed the Walmart. Our emergency response team was in the area with detachment members and immediately responded and were able to locate those two suspect vehicles. The members deployed spike belts, which disabled both vehicles. Both the female and the male were arrested in the area, and they have been identified and charged. They were indeed responsible for the act at the Walmart. Chase Freed, 18 years of age, of Red Deer, Alberta, has been charged with second-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder while using a firearm, failed to stop while being pursued by a police officer, dangerous operation of a motor vehicle, and theft of a motor vehicle. Numerous firearms-related offenses are also pending the outcome of this investigation in regards to charges against Chase Freed. Crystal Maurice, 30 years of age, from Red Deer, Alberta, has also been charged with numerous offenses. Those include accessory after the fact for murder, failed to stop while being pursued by a police officer, dangerous operation of a motor vehicle, and theft of a motor vehicle. Chase Freed has been remanded to appear in court on January 6, 2020 at 9:30 in the morning in Red Deer via CCTV. Crystal Maurice has been remanded as well. She has been in court this morning, and it will be held over for a later date to be determined in Court of Queen's Bench Court. First off, I am just extremely proud of the quick response of the members on this file. We had numerous units immediately involved, which included our Red Deer GIS section, our General Investigation section, the Red Deer Crime Reduction Team, as well as numerous members from our detachment and surrounding detachments throughout the area that responded quickly to the scene and the area to search for the suspects. It was the swift action of our emergency response team and assisting members that ultimately led to the apprehension of these two suspects within hours of the offense. I would like to thank the City of Red Deer and Emergency Social Services who stepped up very quickly to assist in setting up a soft reception center that was available for those who were displaced from their vehicles, as well as for providing buses from the scene. It was through their support that we were able to evacuate the area so quickly by utilizing their public transport. Additionally, our Victim Services Unit has been engaged and offering support and resources for all those that were impacted by the event. I would like to thank the public for your cooperation during this incident. When we are dealing with these types of situations, your cooperation and patience is essential to our public safety and the public safety of all. We would also like to acknowledge the members of the public who have reached out to us to offer their support during this time. We thank you for that. Our members responded to this call quickly, and we now have 2 people in custody. Again, a thank you to all of those citizens who helped us as key witnesses to the event and to others that were involved. Red Deer is a safe community. This is a terrible incident, but this is also a very rare thing to happen in our city, and a random shooting in this city such as this doesn't happen very often. We encourage anyone who may be suffering from trauma and may require resources from our Victim Services Unit. Our Red Deer Victim Services Unit is available at any time. They can be reached at 403-406-2345. Thank you. I am available for any questions if you have any to follow.
You could call it a random shooting. Any idea what the motivation would have been here at all?
Yes. Originally, when we received the call, it looks like the victim was returning to his car, and at that time he was in an altercation with the suspect who had confronted him. At this point, it looks like it was a robbery, an intended robbery. However, violence such as this that escalates to a gun being utilized is extremely rare.
It was originally described as a targeted attack. Since clarified that it wasn't that, can you speak to why it was understood as a targeted attack initially?
Yeah. When the members first arrived on the scene, they only knew what was reported through the 911 calls. And through these reports, it appeared that the accused and the victim may have known each other, because from bystanders who had witnessed the occasion saw them having a conversation, which led to this altercation, and ultimately led to the fatal shooting.
And another thing that police said, on the night of the incident, was that after it had happened, there was no risk to the public. But we're also hearing they went on to steal a vehicle. They were involved in taking down a highway with a spike belt kind of thing. Was there not risk to the public?
Yes, and what the original calls that came in through 911 is that this was possibly a mass shooting type incident, and we wanted to let everybody know that the culprits who had committed the shooting had left the scene, and that what we were dealing with at the scene was the result of the violence that had taken place, but no further people in that area. That the accused had departed.
Right, but they were still, on the run, and presumably had weapons, and they went on to steal a car, right?
Yeah, correct. And these situations are extremely dynamic. The fluid information coming in and the outpouring of citizen support and all the information being received at once, we felt it was necessary to let the public know that the social media messages that were going out, that the initial messages that had been received in social media were such that there was a mass shooting at Walmart and there were up to 6 to 8 people who had been shot. We wanted to immediately quell that information and to ensure that that was not the case.
What effect does that, the social media rumors, what effect does that have on an ongoing investigation or an active investigation when it's taking place currently?
Well, and it could be good and it could be harmful to our investigation, and public safety is paramount. And so our key messaging is we wanted to just respond with the fact of getting out pertinent information as we knew it. We were trying to be careful not to put out false information or information that, and as dynamic as it was of a scene in the area, all that information was changing, and we were just doing the best we could to provide what we could at the time.
Seeking any other suspects at all in relation to the incident or incidents?
And to be certain, we knew we had 2 suspects in custody. The reason there was a delay in announcing that we had 2 people in custody and that would be charged in these events was to ensure that we had all people involved. We wanted to eliminate through the process of the investigation to ensure that there were no other suspects involved.
You mentioned that there were several shots fired as the suspects were leaving the parking lot, and they shot, I believe what you said was at 2 different people, was that it? And if so, how many shots do you believe were fired both at Mr. Williams and at just random on the way
I can't speak to the volume of the shots being fired. I can say that there was numerous shots shot after Mr. Williams was fatally shot. The shooter had engaged 2 other people in the parking lot and shot at them. He did not strike them, fortunately, and then as they departed, there was other random shots fired. That which created quite a scene, and so that is why the perimeter had to be so great, and why we had to secure so many vehicles in the parking lot, was because we wanted to collect evidence and to provide the best possible case going forward.
Who made the arrest? Was that the ERT team?
Correct. The emergency response team and responding members from Rimbey, Sylvan Lake, and Red Deer that were in the area effected the arrest.
And what happened during the arrest? Were there any issues, I guess, with the 2 suspects? Was it?
There was no injuries were sustained by our members or the 2 accused parties.
They were in separate vehicles at this point, right? Because they had stolen an extra.
That is correct.
So, but they were still going on the same highway?
They were both going in the same direction. The spike belt utilized was near Sylvan Lake and disabled both vehicles. We were able to effect the arrest on both the female in her vehicle and arrest the male shortly thereafter near his.
Does he cooperate after they were apprehended?
Yes, there was both were taken into custody without any further incident.
And what was the weapon?
The weapon, I can say, it has been recovered. The Major Crimes Unit has seized the firearm. It was a modified semi-automatic rifle, which they had modified that rifle in some fashion. And therefore, that's when I said there are some pending charges in relation to the firearms offenses that occurred.
Modified in what way? Was it bigger capacity or?
Shortening it.
Oh, okay.
Was Maurice arrested in the SUV and then Freed arrested in the stolen red Chevy truck? Is that correct?
That is correct.
And it was near Sylvan Lake. Do you have an exact location or highway?
Near Highway 11A.
Near Highway 11A?
Yes.
So, I appreciate that you've said as far as no risk to the public, that that on the night of the incident, you're trying to quell sort of social media rumors and that sort of thing, and making sure that folks in the immediate Walmart area knew that they were okay. But at the same time, the search was ongoing for the suspects at that point. So, why not say something else? Why still say there's no further risk to the public at that point?
And I think, as I said, it was such a dynamic situation, and we're talking about an isolated, very, very rare event to happen in Red Deer that had occurred at the Walmart. There was stress at the time at the Walmart on all those involved, and it was just to ensure that the public knew that this wasn't going to be happening. We did not believe at the time it was going to happen at another mall or another location, to just ease those that, because to be frank, everybody was out Christmas shopping during this time of year, and it affected a lot of people, and public safety is our main concern. If we would have felt that there was something that the public should have known other than what we said, we certainly would have stated that.
How concerning overall was this night for RCMP? When you look at this personally, when you see this happening, what goes through your mind?
Personally, I've been living in this area for approximately 10 years. My family was out shopping that night too. This affects a lot of people, and it was concerning to all of us. It's concerning to the city, but I have to state that this is an extremely safe city. We love this city. Our members love this city. We work with very good people with the city of Red Deer, and the amount of public support that we've received as officers as well as the city employees has just been tremendous. And so it is a very, very rare thing for something like this to happen in our city. Usually gun violence involves some criminal element on another criminal element. To have something like this in our city is very rare.
You said that the current theory right now is that it was a robbery that kind of went awry and resulted in the shooting. Are you saying that Freed was trying to rob the victim, or was he going into Walmart to steal some things, or do you know that?
At this point, the investigation is still evolving. I can't speculate, but I think the best guess, he was approached at his vehicle, 200 feet, sorry, away from the front doors. They were in one stolen vehicle already. I think I would be speculating, but I think we can draw our own conclusions there.
Do you happen to know how the victim's family is coping right now?
I don't, and my heart breaks for him. It really does. All those involved, the officers, EMS, our victim service unit has been extremely busy, and they are very, very happy to help in any way possible. So any of those that need assistance, being the family, extended family, friends of the family, or any of anybody involved, are welcome to call our detachment Speak to Victim Service Unit.
Do you know anything about the accused, whether Crystal had kids or?
You know, I know very little about both accused myself, but I do know that Crystal Maurice was known by police from previous situations where she's been involved with criminality of some sort. Mr. Frieda as well is known, not locally to the officers here as much because he is new to our community.
Do you know if she had kids or?
I don't, sorry. I'll take a couple more questions and then.
Do you know what the direction of travel was when the vehicles fled the Rimby area, the second stolen vehicle?
Southbound.
Or southbound?
Yes. Highway 20 towards Sylvan Lake.
And the shots he fired at the other people, were they trying to stop him, or was he just?
They were not. No. They were just
minding their own business?
They were just minding their own business. Correct. And that he has been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder in those cases.
So were they targeted? Like, did he aim at them, or was he just firing off random shots?
He for the charges of attempted murder, he intended to strike those people, or he's alleged to have tried to shoot those people. Thank you very much for coming. And again, I just want to thank you. I know the roads are difficult, and I know this is a tough time of year to get away, so thank you for your time.